Hey everybody, Melissa back at you, and I wanted to go over some enrollment conversations. And as you're doing your launch, you're going to be talking to people all the time. You're going to be sharing with them some of the experiences that you're having with these amazing products. You're going to be sharing with them stories of other people and what they've been using and how they have been successful using these products, or maybe sharing the business opportunity with people. And it's really important that as you actually help people and you outreach, there's a difference between outreaching and having an authentic outreach to somebody versus actually having an enrollment conversation to listen to them and make a suggestion. I will tell you, when you're brand new, the best way to do this is generally through a three-way message, whether it's a three-way group text or a chat on Messenger, or it might even be a three-way phone call. But if you don't have an opportunity to do that and get one of the people that is helping you, one of your upline, on a three-way call or on a chat message, then it's important for you to have a little bit of background knowledge on what to do to really get people to raise their hand and say yes, and to actually enroll with you. And there are some different things that you can put into action that will help you with being successful. The very first thing is that you have got to practice your conversations. You've got to talk to people, okay? You can't just keep things to yourself. I remember when I first became a brand new mom, and I was struggling with what to do to, save money, or what tools to buy for my kids, what car seat and what stroller and all these different things. I had other conversations with moms that were in the same boat that I was. And when they would make suggestions to me and say, oh, well, maybe you should try this car seat, or, oh, well, maybe you should try these, types of bottles or whatever, it was really helpful to me because I would take their information and then I would decide if I was going to buy that or not. You have to have conversations with people about maybe the struggles that they're going through, and you have to actively listen to what they're going through so that then you could possibly make a suggestion. But you don't always want to go at it as you're going to give them a solution or you're going to give them a suggestion. You do want to have a real conversation so that then you know where they are at and what they're struggling with. You want to ask open-ended questions. So what's an open-ended question? Well, an open-ended question is something that does not end in where they would answer yes or no. You want to ask questions about, can you tell me a little bit about how you're feeling today? Can you tell me a little bit about how it would feel if you could lose 20 pounds? We have some of these questions actually in a framework that we offer. We have some different scripts that you can follow that are in a Google Doc form, or we actually do have a tool where we can give you kind of a framework to what to ask or what to say so that you can dig a little bit deeper. But practicing conversations and actually getting into conversations with people is going to help you have more of a impact on enrolling them and actually getting them to raise their hand so that they will be successful with you. And so I would like to kind of give you guys a few different tips as to what to be doing to actually have those enrollment conversations. And a big part of that is going to be what you initially put out there when you're engaging with people through your engagement posts and your curiosity posts, but then they are interested in what you're doing. So what is it that you're going to go say to them next? And that's where you have to know a little bit about your product and about your target market. If you know that your target market is women between the ages of 40 to 60, and you have a 20-year-old guy commenting on your curiosity post or your engagement post, you already know that that may not be your target market, right? But he might be asking for his mom. So you do still want to have a conversation where you're going back to them and saying, hey, you commented on my post. Thank you so much for your support. But then you're asking them to find out a little bit more about why they were actually conversating with you, so that then you'll know, okay, does he have someone else in mind for what I'm doing, or is he just kind of, curious, or is he just wanting to know a little bit more about what we're doing, so that you can actually go into what you have to offer, or what product or service that you have, so that you can make a better suggestion. Um, when you are having an enrollment conversation, you do want to listen. Okay, so you do want to listen. I will tell you some of the best ways that I can actually get some of my prospects to talk is by doing a three-way video chat or a three-way message where I'm introducing them to somebody else that may have some struggles that they had. Right? So if they're a single mom, I introduce them to another single mom that's been successful in the business. And that is going to get them going, because they'll read or hear the story from the person that is already on our team that has been successful. And then hopefully they'll start to open up a little bit more. It's also really important that not only do you actively listen, but then you ask more questions. The person asking the questions is always in control of the conversation. So when you actively listen and you ask a question, you want to repeat back the answer to the prospect so that you can understand what they're going through. Most people buy because of a pain that they're experiencing or a pleasure that they want. They want more money. They want the ability to go on vacation. They want to have more energy so that they can keep up with their kids, things like that. Or maybe they're struggling because they had a car accident and they have been struggling with chronic pain, or they're not able to exercise and they've gained weight. So you have to know a little bit more. And so it's important for you to repeat back things to them so that then you actually know what they're struggling with. I also think it's important for you to position your product or your service as this hero to what they need, but that also requires you connecting on the right level and having the right stories in place. That's where utilizing a page like our team pages, like our On My Way page, where we have all those different stories where people have gone through a certain pain, whether it was weight gain or gut problems, and then they found a solution with our products, and then now they're on the other side. It's important for you to share back those stories or connect them to a story that matters to them. That's going to help you secure an enrollment, because you are actually going to be able to empathize with them, right? And you're going to be able to connect them to somebody else that has actually overcome that problem or that fear or that anxiety, rather than just making a good suggestion. You're going to actually show them that path. It's also important when you're doing an enrollment conversation to voice people, because when they hear your voice, and there's the little voice button you can push, then they actually can hear your inflections and your concern. And that's very important for you while you're connecting with people. And it's important for you to make sure that you're communicating with them, and by repeating back to what they're needing or asking some more questions. The most important thing I think is with your enrollment conversations is you've got to go back and say, what do you think you need to help solve the problem? It's important for them to come to you and say, well, I need to be able to exercise more, or, well, I need to have control over my carb and sugar cravings, or, well, I need some support and some ideas for recipes. It's important for them to come back and actually ask you a little bit more when it comes to knowing exactly what they need to be doing with their with them finding their own solution. So I hope that you're understanding a little bit about what I'm saying when it comes to that. And the biggest thing is, when it comes with enrollment conversations, is that you ask open-ended questions, you actively listen, you make a suggestion back to them, you also make sure that you are just doing it. There's not necessarily a right or wrong, but the more that you get into conversations with people, then the better you are going to do when it comes to making a suggestion and getting them actually enrolled with your product or your service, and helping them go into what is going to motivate them. So I hope that this helps with getting you understanding a little bit more as what the difference is between actually actively, authentically reaching out to people and then moving into that enrollment conversation to listen, so that then you can make a good suggestion. And again, the best thing to do is for you to learn by, we like to say it's more of I do, you do, we do, right? Or I do, we do, you do. I do, we do, you do. So if you're in a three-way conversation, I will help lead the conversation with you, or your coach will. Then you'll watch it. So the next time you do a three-way conversation, you might be leading the conversation a little bit based off of what was said from the previous prospect's conversation. And then as you feel more and more comfortable, you'll be able to move into that. So I hope that helps. And you guys have a fantastic day. Talk to you all soon.